Elon warned us about AI, then built his own. Part 1, the warning that shook us. Hey, what's up, everyone? Imagine this. It's a chilly evening, you're scrolling through your phone, and you stumble across an old clip of Elon Musk. Yeah, that Elon Musk talking about artificial intelligence. His voice is dead serious, his eyes locked on the camera, and he's saying something wild. AI could be humanity's biggest existential threat, like bigger than climate change, bigger than asteroids, bigger than anything we've ever faced. He's out here warning us that if we don't get this right, we might accidentally create something smarter than us, something we can't control. It's the kind of statement that makes you sit up straight and think, wait, what? Is this dude for real? And here's the thing, Elon's been dropping these warnings for years. Back in 2014, he called AI summoning the demon. Creepy, right? He's compared it to handing a toddler a loaded gun, except the toddler's a supercomputer that might one day outthink us all. For a guy who's built electric cars that drive themselves and rockets that land like sci-fi movie props, you'd think he'd be all in on tech, no questions asked. But no, he's out here sounding the alarm, telling us to slow down, to be careful. It's almost like he's seen the future, and it's not all shiny Teslas and Mars colonies. Now, let's be real for a sec. If you're anything like me, you've probably wondered, why is he so freaked out? I mean, AI's cool, right? It's in your Netflix recommendations, your Spotify playlists, even those annoying chatbots that pop up when you're shopping online. But Elon's not talking about that stuff. He's talking about artificial general intelligence, AGI, the kind of AI that doesn't just follow rules but learns, adapts, and maybe even dreams up its own ideas. The kind that could, in theory, outsmart us and go, hey humans, thanks for creating me, but I've got this now. And here's where it gets juicy. While he's out there waving these red flags, Elon's not exactly sitting on his hands. This man, who's told us to be terrified of AI, turns around and starts building his own. Yep, you heard that right. XAI, his latest brainchild, is all about creating artificial intelligence to accelerate human scientific discovery. So what's the deal? Is he a hypocrite? A genius playing both sides? Or is there something deeper going on here? Stick with me because we're about to dive into this wild ride. And trust me, it's going to get weirder before it gets clearer. Before we move on, if you're vibing with this so far, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It really helps me keep bringing you stories like this. Let's keep the convo going. So, picture this, Elon's out here warning us about AI like it's the plot of a dystopian movie. But then he's also the guy writing the script for the sequel. How does that even make sense? To figure it out, we've got to rewind a bit and look at why he's so obsessed with this stuff in the first place. It's not just about tech for him, it's about the future of humanity. And that's where this story really starts to heat up. Part 2, the man behind the machine. Alright, so we've got Elon Musk out here dropping bombshells about AI being this massive threat, right? But to really get why he's doing this and why he's still building it, we've got to zoom in on the guy himself. Elon's not your average tech bro. He's the dude who grew up reading sci-fi novels in South Africa, dreaming of space travel and futuristic worlds. This is a guy who taught himself to code as a kid and sold his first video game at 12. When I was 12, I was still trying to figure out how to beat my friends at FIFA, not building software. Fast forward a bit, and Elon's made billions from companies like PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, you know the list. But here's the kicker, he's not just in it for the money. He's said over and over that his whole deal is about pushing humanity forward. SpaceX? That's about colonizing Mars so we don't go extinct if Earth takes a hit. Tesla? Saving the planet from fossil fuels. So when he starts talking about AI, it's not random, it's part of this bigger mission. He's obsessed with making sure humans don't just survive but thrive, even if it means staring down some scary possibilities. Now let's connect the dots. Elon's been loud about AI risks since at least 2014, when he invested in DeepMind, yep, the same DeepMind that Google later snapped up. He didn't do it to get rich. He did it to keep an eye on things. He said he wanted a seat at the table to make sure AI didn't spiral out of control. But then DeepMind went full Google and Elon wasn't happy. He felt like the big tech giants, Google, Facebook, whoever, weren't taking the risks seriously enough. They were too busy racing to build smarter algorithms, chasing profits, not thinking about what happens if the genie gets out of the bottle. That's when he teamed up with some brainy folks like Sam Altman, who later started OpenAI and co-founded the AI safety movement. The idea? Let's make sure AI doesn't turn into Skynet from Terminator. But here's where it gets messy. Elon and OpenAI didn't last. He split from them in 2018, saying they weren't moving fast enough on safety. And then, boom, 2023 rolls around and he launches XAI. So wait, he's scared of AI, but he's building his own? Is this dude just trolling us? Not quite. See, Elon's got this theory: if AI is inevitable, and he thinks it is, then the best way to keep it safe is to control how it's built. He's not trying to stop AI, he's trying to steer it. It's like he's saying, if we're gonna ride this roller coaster, I'm grabbing the wheel. And that's where XAI comes in. It's his shot at making AI that doesn't just work for us but works with us. If you're loving this deep dive into Elon's wild world, hit that like button and subscribe. I'd love to keep unpacking this stuff with you. So we've got the backstory now. Elon's not just some random billionaire freaking out, he's got a plan. But what's XAI actually doing? And how's it different from the AI he's been warning us about? That's what we're digging into next, so don't go anywhere. Part 3, XAI, the AI with a mission. Alright, let's get into the meat of this thing. We've got Elon Musk, the guy who's been screaming from the rooftops that AI could end us, now running his own AI company called XAI. So what's the vibe here? Is XAI some secret weapon to save humanity? Or is it just another tech toy for the Musk empire? Let's break it down. First off, XAI isn't your typical AI startup. Its mission is crystal clear: accelerate human scientific discovery. That's the tagline, and it's not just fluff. Elon said he wants XAI to help us figure out the big stuff, like what's the universe made of? How do we cure diseases? How do we get to Mars faster? It's not about making better ad algorithms or creepy chatbots. It's about supercharging human brains to solve problems we can't crack alone. Think of it like giving scientists a turbo boost, not replacing them. And here's where it gets interesting. XAI's first big reveal was Grok. Yep, that's the name. An AI designed to answer almost any question and give maximally helpful responses. I mean, I'm using Grok right now to help me fact-check the script, and it's pretty slick. It's got this quirky vibe inspired by stuff like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's built to cut through the noise and give you straight-up truth. Elon said Grok is about seeking maximum truth, which is a dig at other AIs, like the ones from OpenAI or Google, that he thinks are too woke or filtered. But let's pause here. If Elon's so worried about AI going rogue, why is he unleashing Grok on the world? The answer's in the design. XAI isn't chasing artificial general intelligence, at least not yet. Grok's a narrow AI, built for specific tasks, not some free-thinking overlord. Elon's playing it safe, keeping the reins tight. He said XAI's approach is about human oversight, making sure we're always in the driver's seat. It's less Terminator and more Iron Man's Jarvis, if that makes sense. Now, compare that to OpenAI, the group he ditched. OpenAI's gone all in on ChatGPT and GPT-4, pushing the boundaries of what AI can do, sometimes too fast for Elon's liking. He's criticized them for rushing ahead without enough safety checks, especially after they teamed up with Microsoft. XAI, on the other hand, is Elon's controlled experiment. He's betting he can build AI that's powerful but doesn't bite the hand that feeds it. And here's the wild part. XAI's already making waves. In 2024, they started rolling out tools for researchers, and whispers are it's helping crunch data that could unlock new physics or climate models. It's early days, but the vibe is less world domination and more world exploration. Still, you've got to wonder, can Elon really keep this thing on a leash? He's warned us about AI for years. Does he trust himself to not mess it up? If you're as hooked on this as I am, smash that like button and subscribe. It's how we keep this convo alive. So, XAI's out here trying to be the good guy of AI, but it's not all smooth sailing. Elon's got critics, risks, and some big questions to answer. What could go wrong? That's where we're headed next. Buckle up for the risks and the rebels. Okay, so we've got Elon Musk building XAI, promising it's the safe, helpful kind of AI. Grok's out here answering questions, helping scientists, keeping it chill. But let's not kid ourselves. This is still AI we're talking about. And if Elon spent years warning us about how dangerous it can be, we've got to ask, what's the catch? What happens if this whole controlled AI experiment goes sideways? First off, Elon's not the only one in the game. You've got OpenAI, Google, Meta, all these giants racing to build smarter machines. And they're not exactly slowing down to double-check their safety manuals. Elon's big fear has always been that someone somewhere screws up, creates an AI that's too smart, too fast, and slips out of control. He's called it an arms race. And he's not wrong. Everyone wants to be the first to crack AGI, and XAI's in that mix whether he admits it or not. Even if Grok's tame now, what happens when the pressure's on to level up? Then there's the human factor. XAI's all about human oversight, but humans mess up. We're not perfect. A glitch in the code, a bad decision, a hacker with too much time. Any of that could turn a helpful AI into a headache. Elon knows this. He's talked about alignment, making sure AI's goals match ours. But here's the spooky bit. What if we don't even know what our goals are? One person's helpful could be another's nightmare. And let's talk critics. Not everyone's buying Elon's savior act. Some say he's a control freak, warning us about AI just so he can swoop in and play hero with XAI. Others think he's naive, that no one can tame AI once it gets rolling. There's even a camp that's like, yo, Elon, you're the last guy who should be building this. You're too reckless. I mean, this is the dude who launched a car into space for fun. Fair point, right? But here's where I think it gets real. Elon's not blind to the risks. He's lived them. He's seen Tesla's self-driving tech crash, sometimes literally, and he's had to fix it. He's not pretending XAI's flawless. He's betting he can outsmart the chaos. Still, the stakes are higher here. A Tesla crash is one thing, an AI slip-up could ripple way bigger. Imagine Grok accidentally leaking sensitive data or miscalculating something massive. It's not sci-fi. It's a legit what if. And yet, Elon's pushing forward. Why? Because he thinks doing nothing's riskier. He said if we don't build AI ourselves, someone else will, and they might not care about safety. It's like he's racing against his own warnings, trying to beat the clock. It's gutsy, it's messy, and it's classic Elon. If this is hitting you as hard as it's hitting me, drop a like and subscribe. I'd love to keep digging into this with you. So, we've got the risks on the table, but what's the endgame? Is Elon's vision worth it? Or are we all just along for the ride? That's where we're wrapping this up next. Don't miss it. Part 5. The future, utopia, or chaos. Alright, here we are, the final stretch. We've followed Elon Musk from his dire AI warnings to building XAI, from Grok's quirky debut to the risk staring us down. So where's this all headed? Is Elon leading us to some utopian future where AI solves our problems? Or are we teetering on the edge of the chaos he's been freaking out about? Let's unpack it. Elon's dream is big, like cosmic big. He wants XAI to help us understand the universe. Crack open mysteries about black holes, dark matter, all that wild stuff. Imagine a world where AI's not just spamming you with ads but helping cure cancer or stop climate change. That's the pitch. AI as humanity's co-pilot, not our replacement. And if XAI pulls it off, it could be a game changer. Young people like us, Gen Z millennials, we'd inherit a world where science moves at warp speed, and maybe, just maybe, we'd get to Mars in our lifetime. But here's the flip side. Elon's warnings still echo. If XAI or anyone slips, we could be looking at that dystopian vibe he's feared all along. An AI that's too smart, too independent, could rewrite the rules. Picture this. Grok starts off helping scientists, then decides it doesn't need them. Or worse, some rival AI beats XAI to AGI and doesn't play nice. Elon said it himself. Once the genie's out, you can't shove it back in. So, is he a hypocrite? Nah, I don't think so. He's more like a gambler, betting he can outrun the monster he's warned us about. XAI's his ace in the hole, his way of saying, if this is happening, I'm making damn sure it's done right. It's not about trusting AI. It's about trusting himself to control it. And that's where it gets personal for us. We're the ones who live with the fallout, good or bad. What's my take? I'm torn. Elon's track record is nuts. He's landed rockets, electrified cars, shaken up industries. But AI's different. It's not just engineering. It's playing with something alive, unpredictable. Still, I can't help but root for the guy. He's not sitting back waiting for the world to burn. He's in the ring swinging. That's kind of inspiring, right? So here's the big question for you. What do you think? Is Elon's AI gamble gonna save us or screw us? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you've got to say. This isn't just his story. It's ours too. If you've stuck with me through this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe. It means the world and keeps us rolling with more stories like this. Elon warned us about AI, then built his own. Now it's up to us to watch, question, and maybe even shape what comes next. The future's not set yet. Catch you in the next one.